Hello and welcome. I'm your host Elizibar, and we're going to talk about the Amazing Mary Jane #6. Now, if you do notice, like, there's some sunlight coming through, like over here or something, that's okay. I got my window open. Normally, if it's a day where the sun can peek through, I'd like kind of close my curtain a little bit to block it and get like that indirect lighting effect. None of that today. I need the sunshine in my life, and that kind of ties into this book because this book is like a sunshine. It's like a ray of sunshine in Marvel's lineup. We'll start with this cover, all right? Now you're looking at this cover, you're like, oh, that's just the character posing. No, this cover ties in with everything. She is back in New York. You got the apples, even if you didn't know that that said New York. She's got the big apples right there. Got a bunch of luggage. Man, she travels with a lot of stuff. That's all I can say. She's got a cup of coffee. You learn a lot about the character and where she is, what she's doing, just by looking at this cover. It's great. It is absolutely great. It's a nice looking cover, too. Got some freckles. I think canonically Mary Jane has a scar on her chin. You can't really see that. But I haven't been like checking that out like in all these issues. Like I don't care. I know somebody probably cares. Todd McFarlane probably really cares. He probably like looked at this and he went, "There's no scar," and then he moved on with his life. You know, because he's the Todd father and he has better things to do, like working on Spawn, because that's what he does. But check this out. It looks really good. You know, Marvel Comics comes in like two varieties. Variety number one, it's written by Donny Cates. He had his chance with me. He did. And he failed. Absolute carnage. Flat. That wasn't an event. Those were just issues of Venom. And they're like, you know what? We need to make 26 issues in 2 months for that book. And then that's why they had an event. It wasn't cool. It was an event that ended with, and now the next event. You know, like Infinity Gauntlet. That was an event. And you know how it ended? With the definitive ending to Thanos' story. Now, it turns out that Marvel just couldn't avoid the cash cow and went, oh, let's have another Infinity event like, you know, the next year. But it told a complete story. And then the other kind of Marvel book is just art that you can't stand to look at. Like, go back, watch my review of like the X-Men Black book for Emma Frost. All right. Ugh. I think that's the only way to describe that. In fact, it's doing something to my throat right now just thinking about it. I'm gonna have a sip of this drink here, so I'll be right back. All right, just hold tight. Oh, that's better. So we flip this open, and Leah Williams, the writer, she gets this scene, man. Late night talk show stuff, like their banter is great. It's exactly what you would expect. Uh, she's not acting like Mary Jane on here. She's acting like an actress playing Mary Jane, if that makes any sense. So she's just like a little over the top. The host is a little over the top. Everything's a little over the top. It's like it should be. She looks great in this silver metallic dress. Absolutely fantastic. She's like, is there coffee in your coffee cup? No, but can we get some? She's already pushing at the host. Like, this is great. You do a little push, you get a push back, you get some chemistry going on. The audience loves it. Everybody out there loves it. And before you know it, the audience is applauding. All's not fun and games, though, because there's this dude in this Oni mask. I'm going to kind of flip later in the book because I want to get away from him a little bit. Mm. I think this is the page I want. There's a dude in the Oni mask, right? She sees him kill somebody, okay? Meanwhile, the talk show is just going on, and you can see that look of worry on her face. You can see the look of worry on her face. The host unaware. Mary Jane, she knows what's up, but she's got to fake it. She's got to fake it, and she does it, man. You know, there's still a little bit of it in her eyes right there, but she's like doing her best to fake it, get that applause, keep everything going for the show. Absolutely fantastic. Now you're like, wait a minute, why is she on a talk show? What, you didn't read the first 5 issues? Come on, dude. She's on a talk show because her and Mysterio, she knows Mysterio at the start, but she figured it out pretty quick, we're making a movie. And they wrapped it up. She and Mysterio and like the D-list villains he had working for him defeated the Savage Six, you know, Vulture, Rhino, some of the dudes, and finished the movie. It was a great story. Those 5 issues were some of the 5 best issues of Marvel. I've read, especially like if I just think of like Marvel books from the last decade. They are up there. They are great. This book is no exception. This is a great lead into the next storyline. But Leah Williams gets this character. She gets that Parker luck too. She understands Peter Parker because here he is, arriving to a date with Mary Jane. Yes, this is opposite that other page. I'm here. I'm here. Hi. Do you have a reservation? Yeah, it should be 2 under Parker, but my girlfriend's probably already here. You're the first. This way, please. Really? I'm not late? Would you mind jotting that down and signing it so I can put it in my fridge? This is a big moment for me. She gets that Parker look. He's a little goofy, maybe a little too goofy, but it fits like Peter Parker's life, man. So he gets there. He's early for the dinner. Mary Jane's not there. Uh-huh. It's that Parker luck, man. It's great. It's a good understanding of the character. Also, there's a little complication on the talk show because, well, that ain't Mysterio. You can tell by the look on her face. She's like, The actual Cage McKnight shows up, and he still takes credit for the movie. It's pretty funny. The whole routine there on the talk show was great. The menacing dude in the Oni mask thing, that's like lurking behind her is fantastic. It totally sets up the next plot, the next story, the next whatever's going on. She carries that menace, that threat from him over her head really well. And you know what? This book just looks good. It's well written. It looks good. I think Leah Williams, I might have said that already, like wrote some stuff that wasn't well received. I don't care. This is pretty darn good. And I really liked it. And you know what? You just might like it too. It's kind of fun seeing the Spider-Man relationship from the other side. It makes me want to go back to some of the older stories. And like, like let's say Maximum Carnage, right? Like, what was Mary Jane like doing through that whole story? Like, I'm trying to remember. It's like, well, I can tell you what Doppelganger was up to, and Scream, and Carnage, and Spider-Man, and Venom, at least for parts of the story. Who else was in that? Was Cloak and Dagger in that? I don't remember. That was a long time ago. I haven't read that in ages, and even then, I don't think I've actually read the whole story. I might have. I might have like read through a trade of it once, but like, what was Mary Jane doing? Like, really? Your husband comes home and he's been like beaten up by Carnage for the 27th time. Like, that's weird, ain't it? Like, I don't know. But I digress. I'm kind of going off on a tangent. Anyway, since the other day I dropped a book on the ground and the back cover got cranked, I'm really kind of paranoid right now. So I'm just going to put Mary Jane back in here. I'm going to protect her from, or protect the comic book from getting dropped, the same way she ends up being protected, at least sort of, from the Oni mask killer dude in the book. You should check this out. She gets in a taxi, man, and the looks on her face, the facial expressions are just golden. For a lot of this book, I'm not sure you really need the text bubbles. You can follow along pretty well just looking at the faces. There's not many books you can say that about. Like, you can say that about Rags. You can say that about this. Probably a few other books. Maybe some stuff by Tim Lim. Anybody who draws very expressionate faces, you can probably say that that's true for this. Man, I've talked for way longer than I thought I would. I thought this was going to be real quick, like, oh man, I love this book, bye. Which is like the 5-second version of the review. But I really dug this book. Check it out. Bye-bye.